I really don't know why I'm making videos right now because my YouTube channel, while it's monetized, um, every video that I've made since it became monetized isn't monetized. It says something about I haven't done all the checks. And when I went to try to do whatever it's telling me to do, there's nothing that I can see that I need to do. So every video that I post right now isn't making me a dime since I got it monetized. So like the last 3 or 4 videos. This is so weird for me. Once again, I have no clue how to make this stuff work. Me and technology have never worked. I wish I was good with technology. I'm not. And like I said, I still don't edit my videos. I don't have an editing thing. Somebody gave me a link. Here's a link to you can get an edit. I clicked on it. I'm like, nope, I'm not even going to try. Don't even want to bother with it. So one day I'll meet somebody who will come over here and help me get all of this fixed. I'm sure it'll happen. I hope it will happen, and I'm just going to say that it will happen. But I want to make this video because there's something that really is bothering me about what Neville taught. People said, when I first started saying, look, this isn't working, and for the last 6 years I've been saying this isn't working. What? And people say you're doing it wrong. Okay, what? And I've taken all the advice, and I've gotten all kinds of advice. You should be doing this. Don't say that. Everything. And I've tried not everybody's advice, but I've tried a lot of different things, and nothing's worked. But here's one, and I bet you've heard this one. You got to start small. You're trying to manifest your dream life. Start with something small. I said I did. I tried to manifest a red rubber ball. That's small. And I imagined finding a red, because I walk dogs for a living. I said, well, that'll be easy. I'll just imagine that I find one. So someone left a comment on probably the video that my channel blew up. For me, it's blowing up. Doubled my subscription rate. I consider that blowing it up. He said, no, don't imagine finding it. Imagine that you already have it. And I went, oh, okay, fair point. He said, see it with you. So I said, okay. So I'm in my apartment and I imagine I have a red rubber ball. I did this about a week ago, maybe 2, somewhere in there. Held it in my imaginary hand. Visualized holding it in my imaginary hand. Felt the texture of it. I can tell you approximately how big it is. It fits in my hand. It's about like, it's about like that. It's a decent sized red rubber ball. I even imagined bouncing it on the floor. Felt it. Feeling is the secret. And in Neville's examples, he has you hold a tennis ball in your hand and then change it to a golf ball or vice versa. He goes, do you feel the difference? And I'm like, yeah, I can feel the difference. Still haven't seen that red rubber ball anywhere. Imagined it in my possession. Claimed that it was going to work. I said, this is going to work. I'm going to get this ball. It's going to come up because I walk dogs for a living. Surely I'm going to find a red rubber ball somewhere. Nope, nothing. Now, if imagination creates reality, and I believe it does, I agree with Neville that everything that was created was first imagined. Therefore, imagination creates reality. That's a fact. So there's no doubt in my mind that imagination creates reality. But if I believe that my imagination is God, and I accept that as true too, because my imagination is all-knowing, all-powerful, there's nothing that I can't do in my imagination. I can fly into the sun and just be inside the sun. I've done it. It's like, oh, look, I'm in the sun. I should be dead. No, you're not dead. You're God, and your imagination is God. I accept that as a truth, even though, I get how it could be true, and so it makes perfect sense to me, if that's a better explanation. So imagination creates reality. Imagination is God. Neville said the other thing you have to do is you have to believe. So that's why our manifestations don't work, because we don't really believe that we have them. I believed I had a red rubber ball because there's no resistance to a red rubber ball. My dream life, sure, is this really going to work? But how about people? How about Neville when he said to Abdullah, "Nothing's happening. It's been a month, and I haven't gone there." And Abdullah went, "You went first class," and he shut the door in his face. If imagination creates reality, why did my imagination not create a red rubber ball? I believed that I had it. I imagined it in my apartment here. Clearly, and I did it 2 or 3 times. And then I dropped it. I said, okay, now I'm going to forget about it. And it was hard to forget about it, but eventually I stopped thinking about it. I just now thought of it. Hey, you know what? That ball never showed up. I dropped it. I imagined it. I believed. So all of you people who tell me I'm doing it wrong, why didn't I get my red rubber ball? Oh, it'll be here. Oh, great. I hope so. If it comes, I'll make a video. And no, I'm not going to go buy a red rubber ball and go, hey, look, it worked. I would not do. Why would I do that? What would be the point? I want this to work just as much as you do. So if it shows up, I'll show the video. I'll show it in a video and I'll say, hey, look what I found. Absolutely, 100%. But it's been a week or 2. Why is it taking so long? Is my imagination, or is a red rubber ball? I haven't seen a red rubber ball. There's got to be one around here. Really? Too difficult? I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't say a tennis ball or a rubber ball because if I find one, I'm not going to go, hey, look, I made it. No, it's got to be something a little, Anyway, I find it really bizarre that this hasn't worked. And I'd love to hear, what did I do wrong? Anyone? Did I do anything wrong? Seriously, I'm not just effing around here. I want this to work. Why wouldn't I want this to work? It should. It should work. All right, that's all. Talk to you later. Bye.